Hello everyone and welcome. Grab your favorite green mug of squig juice here and let's settle in to open up the brand new Beast Snagga Orcs boxed army set. So I picked this set up yesterday from my friendly local hobby store. I had pre-ordered it from them instead of trying to do the whole queue thing through Games Workshop, and it worked wonderfully. I just simply told my store owner that I wanted a set. They said great, put me on a list. They ordered the box, it came in, and there we go. Easy peasy. No worries. So if you're struggling with how all this stuff goes down, you should definitely talk to your friendly local game store. Mine happens to be Northwest Outpost in Kelso, Washington. If you find yourself in the Pacific Northwest area, you should check them out. Anyways, you can see here on the back, the contents have been covered pretty well online as far as the models go. What I'm really excited about is actually the Beast Snagga boys on foot. I want to see what those look like, what kind of conversions you can do with them, how well they mix and match with the current boys, how that's going to look in the army. And I really like the bomb squig. He's in there somewhere. This little guy here with the grout on him looks pretty cool. So I have a Speed Freaks army that is built and painted, and I have a whole bunch of foot slogging orcs that still have to be done. I'm not really looking to add snake bites themselves, but I still want to pick this up for the codex and some of these models for either some conversion opportunities or see what I could do to get these guys into Speed Freaks. So let's tear into it. Alright, so first of all, we got a sleeved box. They've been doing this on a couple of the newer boxes as opposed to the older boxes that were just lift-off lid top, which is nice because we got this nice full-size artwork here, no writing on it. Got the Great White Squig on there and some of the new Deathcore Creed guys. Can't wait for that new Kill Team box. I will definitely be picking up one of those as well. Like I said, being a long-time orc grognard, been playing 40K since 2nd edition and collecting orcs since 2nd edition, so they are my main squeeze. All right, let's see here. Nothing else in the box. Just a skull there. All right, let's dig in. So first of all, we got the data card set here. I'm not a big fan of the data cards. I actually prefer using the app. I know when the Games Workshop app first came out, it was really terrible. I had actually got it and then canceled it. It was so bad. But they've done a bunch of work to it, fixed it back up, and now it actually works really nice. I also like some of the other army builder apps that are out there all work well. When you have something like that in the codex, you kind of really don't need these. But, you know, some people like them. They're nice to have. Got your bases here. Of course, up to 32 mils now instead of the 28s on the boys. Okay, that's what I was. Got your round bases here for the squig riders, and then the boss is on the bigger one. And then that's got to be for old Wurtzog, the Wurboy, is it now? Such a hard name. Such a hard time with all these new names. I don't use all the old stuff. Yeah, this guy here. Let's check out his sprue. You know what? We can actually use this. Help the background out here. So on my orcs, I know top knots have been an orc thing forever. I've cut them all off on mine, and they're either bald or helmeted. I really kind of lean into the fungus thing. They don't really have any hair. I do like the crazy, you know, old guy look that this guy has, but yeah, I don't know if he's going to necessarily go to my army. So if you were going to convert him, the beard looks fairly easy to get rid of, but the hair here, this piece follows the shoulder armor really close. In fact, it actually folds over to this side too, so you're going to end up with some green stuff on there. It looks like there's a big squig footprint in the base. That's kind of cool. I'm with a lot of the other YouTubers that I really don't like basing choices being made for you, like having a dead space marine or something like that. It can be cool, but I don't want to have to be forced into it, especially, if I have bases that are different, like I'm on a snowfield or something like that. I think a big squig footprint's probably fairly innocuous as that goes. And there's this little snakebite banner. Again, that glyph is all molded in there. It'd be hard to scrape that one off. This runt herd claw looks pretty cool. It's got a shepherd's hook here on the backpack too. All in all, an interesting guy. I don't know if I'm going to personally run him in my army. I got to look at the rules first and see if it's... I think you can only take him with snake bites, and since I don't run snake bites at all, that's going to be difficult. Let's see here. So this is... Well, it looks like all of them. So we've got some squig body parts here and some squig heads. So maybe just 2 of them. Yeah, see, so these are the rider halves. There's the other rider half. Well, it's more like thirds, because you got a leg here, and this is like the back. Or is that the saddle? I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to take a look through the rule books. The little grot guys are completely separate, which is nice. I don't know that I'm a fan of the new power saw axe blade things. I mean, orcs have had chainswords forever, but, they look like old school 2-stroke chainsaws. This, like, exposed circular saw look is kind of new, and frankly, it's not big enough. Orcs like great big chains and blades. You should keep the great big chains and blades. So this is the rest of the squigs. I do appreciate the mechanized squid back legs. That will fit in with my speed freaks. This is the unit I was really excited about to add to my speed freaks. I think that some power wheel squigs are gonna look awesome. Yeah, see, and like these chain axes, right? You've got 2 chainsaws and the circular saw in there all at the same time. Kind of orky, but also kind of, I don't know, not the same aesthetic as the other stuff that's throughout my army. I do love the new DACA guns going on. Those are fun. I like the chain here. Check this out. On this spear, you've got the spear and what looks like a couple of rocket motors, and then the chain. That's going to be super fun to play with. Love this weapon too here. Check this out. This is a like a line gun, but on the end of it, it's got a tiny squig. And so that's how they attach onto you. That's the grappling hook. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, and then, the bomb squig here. So check out the bomb squig. You've got the grot here, right? And it has the rocket on his back. And then he's holding a pin, a priming pin, to nail the squig in the head when he gets to the end, to make sure he goes kaboom. Oh, check this out. So some cyborg stuff too. We've got a cyborg arm and hand here with that particular pistol. It looks like there's a couple of options for each rider actually looking at this. We got a couple of legs there, but like there's an arm holding the weapon. There's a different weapon that is just empty with no arm on it. This arm is holding on to the squig himself. There's a pistol arm. It looks like there could be some options on here. I like that the iron jaws are separate still. So definitely some good opportunities here to combine these with your other orc kits and see how they get on. And here we go. This is what I'm most interested in as far as kit bashing and building. These are way bigger than traditional boys. And I don't just mean like stature-wise because they're standing up straight. Like the length here between the waist and the foot is definitely higher. And again, from the waist to the top, these guys are like right prop and knob sized. So again, you've got options. You got close combat weapons, and you've got the new stub guns. I forget what these things are called, but they're really nasty. They look like they're going to be super fun to play with. And again, some more cyborg arms. Like they're not. You can make them look not very snake bitey if you want to, and I like that. All the furs and stuff look like they'll be fun to paint. There's some hides here, some like dinosaur hides, squig hides, that have some really interesting textures. This one here is kind of smooth with some bumps. This one here is really rough and craggly, like, you know, dry desert. This one here is an actual fur. So we've got separate heads, but if you see the neck joins, the neck all the way up to kind of the bottom of the head is molded in to the boy's body, and they appear to, even though they look different on the body, to have the same head socket shape. Like if you look at the back of the heads, they appear to be fairly similar. There's some with bigger holes than others, but I bet you could get just about any head to work on just about any body on this. You're not, unfortunately, going to get regular orc heads to work with that particular neck setup without some serious cutting and sculpting. But vice versa, I think you can get these new heads on traditional orcs no problem. You can kind of hollow this out into that little half sphere that you need to go over the neck nub. I'm going to do another video with just these and a new boys squad. Not the new boys, the old new boys. The ones that have been around since 3rd edition. And we'll take these parts off the sprue and see what we can't do on gluing them together and what parts you can use with that. So if you're really into orcs and you're into converting and putting all the orcs together, definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that. That's my, like I said, my bread and butter on that. Yeah, just a second sprue, the exact same thing. So that's the models. And then we get into, oh, first you have, these are kind of cool. I got 2 of them too. I don't even know why. That's rad. A little placemat art thing. It's kind of neat. And then we get, of course, the rulebook. Oh, and new decals. Check those out. Those are brand spanking new. Yep, 2021 on there. So you got your evil sons on there. Got your snake bites, your bad moons, your goths. Some freebooters. Yeah, you got the pirate flags, and the freebooters are really nice. And they have some really small ones now. I think those are probably about the smallest multicolored, especially orc glyphs I've ever seen. But yeah, I mean, that takes the cake even from some of the Tau stuff as far as being really small. Oh, check out the bullet holes with the cracks for the windows. There's not even any glass in this particular set. These will be fun. I might actually start using some decals now. Yep. Well, anyways, we've seen all that. Let's shove all that aside and take a look at the codex. Oh, I've really been liking the special edition books with the full art. I did get the Indominus rulebook. I did not buy Indominus. I just bought the rulebook because I liked it so much. So it's kind of fun to have the special edition codex for my main army too. And since, like I said, I tend to use the app when I play, the books kind of stay home and stay nice looking, and I don't know, they're just kind of nice. As a longtime fan, like I said, I've been playing since 2nd edition, so I've been in this hobby since 95, 96, somewhere in there. Get this off without scraping anything. So there's our build guide here. So interesting that the squig faces are separate. I don't know if they're interchangeable though. When we do the build on those, we'll have to take a look if you can interchange the faces at all. But yeah, here's what I was talking about on the weapons, where you can have is either his pistol arm with the axe sideways, or you can have the axe arm with the pistol mounted. So it's nice that they, even though they're like monopose, they give you options. And then here's where they separate between the snakebite version, right, with just the leg, and a more orcified version here with like the cyborg body piece. I wonder if they do the same thing with the smaller ones that have the wheels. Must have optional. No, that guy's pretty much, that's the only way you can build him, is with a wheel. Huh. Interesting. Oh well. Yeah, so I know that there's been some funny business going on with the the instructions on some of these kits that have come out. Like Dominion has a couple of oopsies where they kind of show you the like the musician and the standard bearer first, and then tell you that you could build it as a regular one too. So I'm definitely going to have to read through these real close before starting to put these guys together to see what all the different options are and not end up with a bunch of the same guys. Because there's definitely, you get your shooter versions or your choppa versions. And you could build that knob two completely different ways. So this is where wanting to know how conversions work is going to come in really nice, because it looks like we just have a set of legs and maybe a little bit of body, and the rest of this particular model on the Beast Snagga knob, it is pretty much its own thing. And if they give you both of those, I can go grab a spare set of legs and a spare lower body, and maybe end up with a whole extra Beast Snagga knob. All right. So anyways, like I said, I'll definitely be doing some build videos and stuff on that. So if you're interested in seeing any of that stuff, stick around. And then we have, of course, the codex. I think Aspect Tactics has already been entirely through this thing, and everybody else has too. I'm just interested in taking a look through it. I've heard that the lore is actually really good in this. There's a whole bunch of new lore. It could be quite funny. Specifically here. Good old Zodgrod. So an interesting thing I've noticed on this particular kit, the new I don't even know what the heck they're called, because the new War Machine thing that's being pulled by the giant squig, right? If you, online, there's the two different versions. There's the one with the word boy in the back, and then there's this one that has the missile launch in the back. If you look real close at the pictures, it's actually the exact same model. They have these turrets magnetized. This dude right here is absolutely identical on both of them, and so is the gunner. It's just he moves from here to here in the middle spot when you've got the word boy up there. So it looks like even Games Workshop themselves have made that particular kit go both ways in their own build. So definitely no reason to buy more than one of those unless you actually plan on running more than one in your army. But you could build them both ways, no problem. Yeah, some of the new artwork in here and some of the new boys being built looks really, really nice. Yeah, you gotta love a good wall, right? So the thing that really, like I said, as a speed freak myself, so really wanting to see how those guys are going to get on. So I'll have to do a deep dive through all this. But the one thing that kills me, I'm big into bike mobs. My war boss on bike is unfortunately been long turned to dust, moving to the Forge World range and now not being in here again. You could pretty much kiss war boss on bike, gone. However, the other thing that happened is they got rid of, check it out, you got your knobs, pain boys, burner boys, mad docs, and all that, all these elite guys. Do you see what's missing? Have you figured it out yet? There's your knobs, there's your mega knobs, and there's your knob with WA banner. No knob bikers. The knob biker squad is no longer a thing. So my knob bike squad that I have built, that is 6 strong, I gotta do something with. So I'm not sure what to do with them yet. I know that the bike units themselves also changed. They went from a max 12 to a max 9. I've been running mine as 6, so I might end up just combining my squads together and making them a 2 9-man squads. Where do they go in here? I know they're in here. Truck, Death Drag, Gunwagon. I'm happy that we're at least getting new Dev Coptas, because I only have 3. Yeah, so 1 boss knob on war bike, 2 to 8 war bikers now is the unit. So 4 or more is power rating 8, 7 or more is power rating 12. Well, yeah, so it's going to make sense to take a full unit of 9 if you can. Alright, so that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to take my knob squad apart and put 3 of them into each of my 2 bike squads so that I could have 2 9-man warbiker squads, and the old boss is just going to have to live in the case, because now the only thing you can do, unless you really want to deal with Forge World, the Forge World rules, is the Death Kill at Wartrike. All of the ancient stuff is gone for us speed freaks. Anyways, I'm super excited to get this and do some conversions and get into some orkiness. I hope you are as well. If you haven't had a chance to get the box and you want the box, definitely check with your local game store before paying ridiculous prices online, because they have them at retail, and then you're helping your local game place out, and gives you somewhere to play when you get them all built and painted. So if you like what you saw, if you want to do some more orc stuff with me, definitely subscribe. I'll be doing lots of building and converting with these and comparing them to the current orc range in the next couple of weeks. So until next time, hope you enjoyed.